Welcome to Man Cup Live. I'm Broderick Hollywood Jackson, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. I have special guests coming tonight, Eric Hochstetler from MTC Engineering, and I have my guest hosting here, Big Boss Pinky Bowers, all the way from Cashville, Nashville. I know a lot of y'all know him from the racetrack. There he is right there, Big Boss. What's cracking up there in Nashville, baby boy?
Everything all right, man. Getting ready for the big racing this year. You know that there. Beautiful weather down here. How the weather up there?
Oh, man, we had a little rain today. I had to shoot down to Valdosta and take the rig down there so we can get one of them 275s parked up under there for the race this weekend. Shot back to Atlanta, got a haircut, got teed up. I'm really excited about this Man Cup Live, man. You know it's ready to go down, man. What's going on up there?
Man, you know it's ready to go. Look, we got a good guest on tonight. We got the man on tonight.
Yeah, we got the man who can make those clutches and get them bikes going.
The man with the famous clutch. The famous clutch, man. The clutch is number one.
Okay, well, look here. I want to formally introduce myself. My name is Broderick Hollywood Jackson. I'm the new owner of the Manufacturers Cup. And like I said, my man over here on the line with me right now is Ira Bowers. Everybody know him as the Big Boss. Pinky. Yeah, that's Megan Bowers, Petway's dad. If y'all don't know, he's a legend himself in the drag racing game. How long you been doing the racing thing there, Mr. Bowers?
Man, I got 30 years up under my belt, Hollywood.
30 years, boy, that's a long time. But look here, that's a long time. You're a real OG up there, baby boy.
64 years old. I'll be 65 this year.
Hey man, I seen you strap up on one of them motorcycles this last past year. They didn't think you still had it, Big Boss.
Well, you see, my daughter called me out, so you know I had to go and perform, man. You know my health ain't been too good. That's why I ain't been racing none. You know, that's why I've been really with you, man. You know, but I can still do it. You know.
That's right. That's right. Well, look here, we're gonna go pay a few little bills right quick, and we're gonna bring our guest Eric Hochstetler back on the line and let us tell us a little bit. Hochstetler, that's right, Eric Hochstetler from MTC Engineering, all the way down from Daytona Beach, Florida. We're gonna bring him back on the line and let us tell us a little bit more about MTC, because Mr. Hochstetler is our #1 sponsor for the first race that kicks off this year at Valdosta, South Georgia Motorsport Park, April 14th through the 16th, the Spring Fling. We'll be right back. We're gonna go pay some bills, baby.
That's right.
If you're a fan of racing, then you'll love the Man Cup Motorcycle Drag Racing Series. These guys are going full speed ahead at 150 plus miles per hour on 2 wheels, and it's absolutely amazing to watch. If you're ever looking for an adrenaline rush, then you don't want to miss this. The first race starts April 14th through the 16th in Adel, Georgia at the South Georgia Motorsports Park. Get your tickets now at racemancup.com. See you there.
All right. Here we go. We got Mr. Eric Hochstetler all the way from Daytona Beach, Florida, the owner of MTC Engineering. How you doing down there, Eric?
I'm doing really well. I really appreciate you guys allowing me to join you tonight.
Oh man, it's such a pleasure to have you, and we really appreciate you staying down with us with the Manufacturers Cup and a continuous sponsorship of the series. We definitely appreciate it. I'm for sure the racers is like myself as well. We all look forward to doing business with you. You always giving us a great product. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Eric. I mean, a lot of people, they see you in the pits. You got the pistons, you got the clutch baskets, the sliders. You got all kind of good parts, mostly at the track. So tell us a little bit about who you are. A lot of people don't know you, where you come from in this game.
All right. Well, I grew up on a farm in Indiana, so I'm just a farm boy, but was always tinkering around with motors and tinkering around, taking things apart. So I had a desire to learn more about mechanical things. So I did go to school. I got an engineering degree, and I was in the engineering field for about 20 years, working for a tier 1 automotive supplier. And so we had an opportunity to make product and deliver them to automotive. And I was directing a group of 40 or 50 engineers, developing products and bringing them to life. So did that for a long time, worked a lot of hours, a lot of stress, and decided, hey, you know, I like to do some of this for myself and go do something myself, and found MTC Engineering, and it was for sale. The history of MTC, they were originally a company in California. There was 2 guys that started it. It was actually called MC Components. And then the 3rd gentleman by the name of Ken Tipton joined them, and they changed their names to MTC Components. And then Ken bought out the other 2, and he moved it to Florida back in 1975, and he called it MTC Engineering. So long history making products. Probably most people don't know that MTC used to make their own exhaust systems, used to make their own air shifters, did a lot of things in the past that they don't do any longer. Ken was a real entrepreneur. I still have probably hundreds of drawings that he was on a drafting board and drawing 1-to-1 scale gears and shafts, input shafts. Amazing entrepreneur. And then you know, he ended up selling it to Tony Lang. You guys all probably know Tony the Tiger. He was a Top Fuel. Like you said the other day, he was funny bike rider for quite a while, and then shifted up to Top Fuel, and was very competitive in Top Fuel for the last couple of years of his racing career. So
if I understand you correctly, you say you came from cars, right? Making automotive parts, not motorcycle parts, correct?
Yeah.
So how did you do that transition?
That was a deep dive off the deep end, man, because you know, I decided to take on the biggest debt I've ever taken on in my life, kind of entering a market that I knew very little about. I knew manufacturing, I knew the processes, I knew, you know, making products, CNC machining, so product development, I knew those things, but I did not know the motorcycle drag racing market. So it was a little bit of a risk there, but you know, if you don't take risks sometimes, you don't get ahead in life. So took that risk, rolled the dice.
No reward, right?
That's right. And so I'm
now
very pleased.
MTC is now located in Florida. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. We're in Cocoa, Florida. We're, you know, a couple miles off the coastline here on the east side of Florida, about 45 minutes outside of Orlando. So.
And it's relatively easy to find online for the ones that want to order parts from you. The website is mtcengineer.com, ENG.
mtceng.com. Yep. So
okay.
our website is more informative. Very difficult because of the type of products that we make. It's very difficult to do an online ordering because when you want a set of pistons from us, we have about 10 questions to ask you what you'd like to do, because most of our products are so custom made to the end customer. So we don't really offer a live store because it's interactive product. So our customers call us, and we walk right through it, get an understanding what they need, what they desire, and then we make the piston match their needs.
So you can take a basic CAD drawing from a race team, or basically information that the team wants the piston to be shaped, or the performance that they're looking for, and custom make a one-off piston for each team separately?
Well, it's a little bit hard to do one-off, because when you make a piston, the pistons have to go through 4 or 5 major operations, and those are all CNC operations. And each one of those CNC operations have a program that you have to write. So to be competitive and to be profitable, it's very hard to run one piston. So what we typically do, certain pistons, let's just say back in the day, 85 millimeters was the standard, bore diameter that everybody was going to. We would make what we called a blank dome. We would put a piston on the shelf that just had a square top to it. And then a customer would call us and tell us, hey, I've got this shape of a dome. I got this chamber shape in my head. Can you match that? I need this deck height. And then we would cut that piston exactly to what the customer needs. The bottom skirt, the wrist pin location, all of that's been set already, but we could custom make the top of it. So, a lot of our customers are performance shops, and they order maybe 20 or 30 pistons at a time to their standard. And then we can run a batch of 20 pistons very well. That's a good size for us to manage.
That's a good order size right there for your retailers or your retailers at that point, correct?
Well, that's mainly for the performance shops. So, they're building, a lot of these shops are building their motors to their specs, and they may be building 5 or 6 of these motors for their end customer. If you look at our sales, probably 80% of our sales are to what we call dealers. These are guys that build engines. The other 20% is right to the end retail guy. So
cool. So I see that you have the pistons, and I know another thing that a lot of us use quite often now, especially the 460 bikes and a lot of the other bikes, we all have adapted. A lot of us use the slider. That slider is a heck of a product right there, man. Where did that deal come from? Is that a blend of maybe the old snowflake clutch and all that stuff, and now you just incorporate it all into that hat? How did that all develop? I mean, what's the origination of that product itself?
You know, the slider had been around for a long time. Actually, Ken Tipton, who would have been the owner, let's see, I've had it for 17 years. Tony had it for 10 years. So 27 years ago, before that, Ken Tipton patented the slider for MTC Engineering. And it was in its infant stages. But it's basically, guys say, oh, it's like a snowmobile clutch. In a way it is. I mean, it's centrifugal clutch. There are arms that fly out based on, RPMs and weight on the arms, and applies pressure to the clutch. And, it's a very simple technology that can be tuned and made work, based on your application. So been around for a long time. It works very well. It's probably the most repeatable clutch on the market, and it's very easy to tune.
I tell you what, we're going to pay a few bills right here, but when I come back, I got a good question for you holding up in my mind, because everybody's been asking me about this with these ET races. Let's pay some bills, Vernon. All right, we're back here. That was a cool little commercial there. I like that commercial, MTC Engineering. That's a lot of good product that you have on there, man. I swear. But so here's a question, $1 million question, I guess. And I think I hit you up with this a little while back, and I was asking you, like, we've now evolved to the different type of clutches as it relates to the street bikes and so forth. And now me having to be the person that kind of help makes the rules for these classes. A lot of people don't like the Gen 2 clutches in the street classes. Excuse me. Now, you and I spoke about, there are, the entry level classes that really do need to have just a bone stock like motorcycles that come in, someone can ride in off the street. But now with our new rules, where we are requiring a diaper mainly for all the motorcycles to come in, and that needs to, first of all, be considered. But for the ones that are just going to have to come in without a Gen 2 clutch opportunity. Now, my question is there a real advantage, do you feel, having a Gen 2 in a street ET class where there's no delay box, no two-step, but you still have to fly the clutch? I've ridden my kid's bike, and it didn't help me cut no better lights than my kid will probably nail me to the cross with this little motorcycle of his, but he's just good like that. He won the best reaction time at SEMA. But do you feel like it's still a open field for people to have an opportunity to win, whether they have a Gen 2 or not? I mean, what's your take on that deal? I mean, don't hold you now. I don't want nobody to stop buying no Gen 2 clutches from Eric now. I just want to know this for myself. But go ahead, Eric, please.
Yeah, that's a tough question, because we're the manufacturer, so of course we're going to say the Gen 2 clutch is the best clutch out there, and it has the technology built into it to really take a lot of rider error out of launching, so it does bring some advantage. It brings some repeatability to the passes, but it needs to be tuned in. But once it gets tuned in, it is so repeatable that it takes away mistakes. But you're right. I mean, the rider still has to hit the light and has to twist the throttle correctly and has to really be able to throw the lever. So there's still a lot of dependency on the rider, because, even though we have a lot of customers that have the Gen 2s, we still get calls from guys that say, hey, this isn't working any better than my stock clutch. So, you know, there's just a lot to it. You have to understand the technology and you have to use it. And I think, like we were talking the other day, you know, all these products are evolving, and as these products evolve, technology is evolving, and you know, you can't just start saying, well, we don't want to use this new technology because it's available. And you know, where do you draw the line? Well, we don't want to use traction control, and we don't want to use air shifters. All of that was new technology at some point. So Gen 2 is kind of a new technology. I understand the concept of, you know, trying to keep the cost low for an entry level. I would agree with that because, you know, it's a very expensive hobby. Racing's a very expensive. So if you can keep the cost low for entry level people, that's great. But I just don't think we can avoid and not utilize technology in all its abilities. You know, we haven't even talked about it, but you know, we're now looking at, you know, air assist. That to me is now the next technology. And if we get some time, we should talk about that because we're developing some new products for air assist that's going to take us to another level yet above. So I think it's a necessary product. I think it's a good product. I think you still have to be a good racer, you know, a good rider, good reaction time, good, you know, good feel for a bike to make it work. Because like I said, we have customers that have them that just can't seem to get it to work.
Right. And I'll honestly say that I feel a lot safer with my child on the Gen 2 clutch versus the old school cable like I rode back in the days where you had to either know how to slip it with your hands. Big Boss, you got a little input on that. This come from your days back there. You too. You had to fly the clutch back in the days the manual way as well, right?
I had the clutch.
Yeah, back in the days, you didn't have no Gen 2 clutches back then.
No, we just throw the clutch. But that clutch he got, they done set track records with that clutch. That clutch you just come out with, I heard they done set records in 3, 4, 5 different classes. So that's the number one clutch out there.
So he done made me buy my son the motorcycle. Big Boss, he modest over there right now, but he the one made me buy this motorcycle for my kid over there, and he done pretty much, he just lunches it like it's had a 2-step on it. It almost feels like I'm surprised it doesn't wheelie anything, but I'm really comfortable with letting him ride the motorcycle with that particular clutch on there because of that safety aspect. To me, it feels like safety, to be honest with you.
It is.
I mean, I wish that more people would probably take a look at it personally because I like it. I personally like it. I personally don't feel like, I still feel like there's a lot of rider input that has to go in, even at street ET level with the clutch, without it, so forth, because like you say, you have to cut the light. You have to have good rider ability, you know, and you got to hold it. It's not like this bike is sitting on a 2-step. So he has to hold a good throttle position to launch it. And then that changes per the traction and so forth. So I'm not going to belabor the Gen 2 clutch, but I really do appreciate you, you know, giving us a little more insight on that. Now, as it relates to the future of motorcycle drag racing as a whole, I mean, what would you like to see happen here? I mean, you know, we have, and I think we talked about this as well, we kind of have an older demographic of individuals that are still our raving fans of motorcycle drag racing. And then we do have the new younger generation that's coming up that are probably 16 to 21 years old. But in between 40 and 21, we've lost quite a few people. And I think we were talking about maybe the technology and the ability to have so much access in our hands now with our phones, iPads, and so forth, that maybe we just aren't making the mark to get the fans back to the stand. And what do we need to possibly do to make that happen? What is your input on that, Eric?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about that a little bit, that, you know, nowadays you can have, talking about kind of the family unit, you can have an entire family in the same room and they're not really talking to each other. There's so much information at their fingertips that they're maybe, you know, just doing different things. And I just feel like as a market, as a drag racing community, we can kind of bring back maybe some events that the entire family can be at and enjoy. And so I like what you're trying to do there, where you're offering some alternative activities at the events to get the families there. We do have a big void. I agree. We got some very good young talent, but there is an age group in there that just isn't really there yet. And so I don't know if we can draw that back in. If we could draw that racer back with his family, there's a chance I think we could hold that. And I think, you know, if we could grow that, we could just grow maybe some people in the seats, and, you know, by that, turn that into revenue a little bit, and then, you know, hopefully be able to give more back to the racer yet.
Cool. Well, we're going to go take another break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the upcoming spring MTC Engineering Spring Fling that's going to take place at South Georgia Motorsport Park, April the 14th through the 16th. We're going to dive into that a little bit, and we'll be right back.
Jump into the action. Watch Hollywood Drag Racing Live TV now.
All right. Well, back here again with Mr. Eric Hochstetler. I got it right now. I'm getting better and better each time I say it. It's a hard one because I don't want to put the C in there for some reason. But hey, I'm working on it, man. I think I've done pretty good except for the first time. But look here, we got the MTC Spring Fling, which is a motorcycle racing and a bike show coming up. We're going to have we're going to have our standard motorcycle classes, which now you can go and start purchasing your tickets, racers. And fans, you can go on our website and go there and start downloading your tickets. And for you all who go to the classes that have the approval pending, if you go over there to the website and you go to get your tickets, and there's a section for you that says pending approval, whatever. All that states is that you need to go on the left where the blue is highlighted and fill out your tech card. That's all that does. Once you go in that little area right there to your left, you'll see the blue highlighted area. Just fill out that section, which will be your tech card. Make sure you throw your sponsors some love and so forth. Get all that done. Take care of your business. And then you'll be able to go over there and buy your tech card, your entry fee. And if you want to do any test and tuning, all that's good to go. As far as the fans, you can buy your weekend pass or any individual day that you plan to come out to the event. But also on the website, the first page where you go to our home page, if you want to keep up with the latest news that we're going to have about events coming up, go to the home page. Right on the home page where the Man Cup drag racing is, it says stay informed. Hit that link right there. Put your information in there. When things come up that we want to inform you about, you'll get an email to your email. You're part of our mailing list at that point. You'll be in the loop, be in the know what's going on. And I also would like to thank our other sponsors, our class sponsors for other classes out there, Snits Racing, MPS, Rough Riders, which will be their first year over here as a sponsor, which is a good deal because that's a new sponsor for our series. We have Bill Robinson with Robinson Industries, Voodoo Motorcycle Performance Parts. We also will have Hard Times Parts and Services, African American Racers Association with Chris Harris, which is also acting as our VP of the Man Cup. And we have the 190 hookup with Rob Bush. So we also have a contingency program this year. And so far we have the Voodoo contingency program. If you go on our contingency program, they're paying a contingency for motorcycles that win and runner up in each of the classes. All you need to do is have your Man Cup decals on, your Voodoo custom stickers on both sides of the bike, and make sure they're on there before first round. But more information on that is posted on the website. We have done as much as we could to give you all the information that you would need on the website to make you informed as what would be needed and what's to be expected when you come to the events. But make sure you go on there. You can buy your tickets online. Be prepared when you get to the racetrack so you don't have to wait in a long line, purchasing tickets and so forth. All that stuff will be done. You'll be pre-registered, be teed up to go parking. Also, I'd like to thank the Pro Bagger sponsor. They have a couple different sponsors for different events that they're going to come to. So far, we'd like to thank ARC Fire Protection Services, also the G-Force Racing, V-Twin Motorsports, and I want to do a special shout out to Dwayne G for putting it all together, making it happen for everyone. And for you guys who like guys and girls who had those real pretty bikes, trikes, and so forth, come on out because we're going to have a bike show. And check this out. The Best of Show For the first 5 races are automatically entered to win $10,000 for the best bike of the year. I think I got that right. Best bike of the year gonna win $10,000. So the 5
That's at the end of
best
the
of
year.
shows are gonna be automatically entered in a $10,000 bike of the year. Ain't that something? But look here, Eric. I think that's what the type of stuff that you was talking about. Ain't that right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, people ask, well, why are you supporting this, or why are you, paying all this money out to sponsor all these events and all these classes? And we're planning on being at 15 races this year, so we're going to be on the road at least once, sometimes twice a month, being out there, meeting our customers, being at these events, helping these guys out. Not only, when we go to an event, we can help a customer get their motor back together and get up and running. The little things like gaskets, we've got a great selection. We're there for that. But the other thing that we do is we get to talk to our customers. I would say 50% of the new products that we've had brought out over the last 15 years are a result of us talking with somebody at an event. They come up and say, hey, what would you do with this? Or how do you think this would work? And hey, wouldn't this be a great idea? And we work together with our customers, and we take that idea back. We might, draw up and draft up and model up a product, take it out in the shop and make it, call that customer up again and say, hey, can we put this on your bike and can we test it? That's why it's so important for us as manufacturers to be there with the racers, not only for their benefit, but it's also for our personal benefit too. We really don't make any money. I mean, you know how expensive it is to travel nowadays. So it's hard to really go to an event and come back saying, hey, I made a big profit this weekend, because it's food and gas and hotels and all of that's expensive. The racers know that firsthand, but, we talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people say to us, hey, because you come to our events and you are there to support us, we're going to buy from you, because we have competition just like everybody else. It's just important for us to be there.
That's right, man. And you've been there every race I've been to this year. I went to a lot of them last year. I think me and Big Boss done wore the wheels off my bus. I'm already getting tires on the bus already, man. Them people think I had the bus jacked up in my garage. Big Boss, where we done been so far?
But we seen him at a lot of them races though.
Yeah. See, we don't went across the map and back a couple times right now on our own, and every time we show up somewhere, we seem to run right up against you. So, man, once again, we really appreciate what you have done for us at the Manufacturers Cup and so forth. And like I said, I could be more than happy, and I can show my appreciation for the rest of the races as well, that we really appreciate what you've done, and keep up the good work for us. And like I said, if there's anything us racers can do to make it better and give you more information, I'm for sure we'll do it, because now we know that that's how you make it happen for us. We should be able to reciprocate that back to you. Once again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for making the time for us to come on to Man Cup Live and talk to all the Man Cup racers and fans alike. And we look forward to seeing you down at Valdosta, April 14th to the 16th at your own event.
That's right, man. We're looking forward to it too, getting back on the road and getting out there and meeting with our customers. And we're glad to be part of the Man Cup and to be this first race. Glad our name's on that first race for everybody.
That's right.
All right, good deal. Well, y'all have a good one.
What's that name again now?
Eric Hochstetler.
Yes,
Hochstetler. That's right.
That's a
Big
good
Boss,
name.
you got to tell them a story or something, man. You can't just let them get off the hook like that, man. You got to tell them something, man.
Hey, the man talks so good, man. And nothing I can say, man. He give them what they want, man. You give him the right, questions, and he give you the answers. He let them know what they want to hear.
That's right. Well, look here. We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Bring him back on. You're going to have to invite him back on again.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to definitely bring him back on, because he got some more stuff. He got to bring some more of that new technology.
He got some more to tell. You just got him going. And now it's over.
Hey, y'all come to that first race. We'll have some new stuff on our tables at the first race. So all you racers out there, stop by and see what we got, because we have kind of the winter off, and we try to make parts and bring out new stuff. So we'll have some stuff there for you guys to see.
Yes.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up at Man Cup Live. Thank you, fans and racers alike, for tuning in. We'll be at, like I said, we'll be at the MTC Spring Fling, South Georgia Motorsport Park, April the 14th through the 16th. We're going to live stream the event on HollywoodDragRacing.com. Make sure you go there and sign up just as well, because that way you'll get the notifications of when the stream will be going up. But make sure you come on out to that racetrack, because there's going to be some pretty motorcycles there. A lot of good competition. And y'all Top Fuel guys, y'all need to come on over and play with us, man. Y'all don't act like y'all don't know us over here no more. We got a home for you. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Peace. Hollywood.
Yep. If you're a fan of racing, then you'll love the Man Cup Motorcycle Drag Racing Series. These guys are going full speed ahead at 150 plus miles per hour on 2 wheels, and it's absolutely amazing to watch. If you're ever looking for an adrenaline rush, then you don't want to miss this. The first race starts April 14th through the 16th in Adel, Georgia at the South Georgia Motorsports Park. Get your tickets now at racemancup.com. See you there.